my name's Kath and I'm the Creative Director for Conservation Without Borders. This is my boss Sacha and she is the CEO of Conservation Without Borders, otherwise known as the UN Ambassador for the Convention on Migratory Species, or more dramatically, the human swan, which she was named after she flew from Russia back to the UK tracking the migration of Buick swans. Next up was the Round Britain Climate Challenge, with Sacha flying around the UK to highlight climate solutions. But days before the end of that expedition, in a freak accident, she fell 150 feet. And while she broke a lot of bones from her jaw down, she somehow survived. Despite many operations to put her back together and 6 months in hospital, she was determined not to let injuries deter her from out on mission. So against the odds, in 2022, she set off with a team to follow the osprey migration from the UK to Africa, living out of vehicles and tents. She set off in a wheelchair and came back walking. And with amazing results and stories to share. In this vlog, we will share some of those stories and take you behind the scenes of life of Conservation Without Borders.
It's been a pretty spectacular afternoon watching them.
As we go, and the incredible people we meet along the way. While Sacha provides updates on our mission, her recovery, and showcases life on the road, I will spend most of my time in Zambia trying to work with 5 cats and wildlife that also doesn't see borders. Also, hopefully I'll be able to showcase some of Africa's incredible places and people. First up, I'd like to give a huge thank you to everybody who donated on Sacha's crowdfunder. It was because of the generosity of individuals and organisations that we were able to get Sacha over to Seattle. A special thank you goes out to the Douglas Bader Foundation for their generous donation. And the luck continued as Sacha was offered a last-minute slot due to a cancellation. So this vlog is a very personal one for her about the start of this journey.
I can't believe that I'm finally here. That really rapid move from possible double amputation to exoskeleton legs to how are we going to raise the funds to cover these, will they work, to being here has been amazingly fast thanks to all the support we've had from people giving advice across the US as well, which was incredible, and then everybody who donated to my legs also, that was incredible. And yeah, I'm trying to contain the joy, excitement, anxiety that maybe they won't be the dream that I hope they're going to be, but I'm going to give it my best shot. With my new legs, I'm hoping I'll be able to wake up in the morning, strap them on and get up and go. Wouldn't that be nice? Not to have to sit there and think, ugh, is this gonna hurt? Is this gonna hurt? Maybe I'll just work from the bed a bit longer. Now it's about 5 p.m. in Seattle, but about 1 a.m. for us. Still, the plan for this evening is to go into downtown Seattle, which we're driving through at the moment. Go straight to the ferry terminal and across to some of the wild areas, which I'll show you in a minute. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful over the water. And find a national park for camping for the night. And then tomorrow we're going to go into Gig Hub where the clinic is, so that I can scope out the area and know 100% what's what, where it is, where we can camp nearby, so that I will not miss my appointment on Tuesday morning. Eagles. The eagle has landed. Now, weirdly, it looks, I'm not sure if you can see very clearly, it looks quite like an osprey. There are definitely similarities with colour, but the bald eagles don't get their full adult white head kind of colouring until sometimes like 5 or 6 years old. Before that, they do have they're quite dark at the very beginning. They do have a phase where they can look white ospreyish in coloration. I thought I'd show you how I can walk now and why I am so keen to try these exoskeleton legs. I can walk with quite a lot of pain some days without much pain at all, and I can't really walk up hills. I can't really walk upstairs because my left foot is stuck a bit pointed. I've created my own sort of shoe combination using thick wedges and really spongy pieces, and with them I do okay as long as I've got handrails and things. But it's not me, still doesn't feel quite like me, and if I've got an option to be out and active again, then I'm going to do my best to get there. Also extremely grateful for everybody who's put in the contributions to getting my legs. It was really overwhelming, and then looking at the prices and thinking, gosh, that's a big commitment for something that might not work, and then being convinced, having more than 150 people contribute to getting these legs, and here I am, about to be fitted in a couple of days' time. My plan originally was to spend all of yesterday and maybe of today in and around Gig Harbour, getting used to the area, learning where the best campsites are and all the rest of it, making sure we knew exactly where the clinic was. I have never been so nervous about wanting to get something right as this. But in the end, I realised my mood swings are pretty extreme, going from almost uncontrollable joy to real kind of pessimism of what if it's not, these legs are not the dream that I hope they're going to be. And actually the best thing for me to do was just be completely distracted and get out into nature. So we drove all the way along the north coast, incredible views of Canada across the way, and the first bald eagle we saw, we were like, oh my god, this is amazing. Stopped to film it, and then as we drove along, actually every 100 meters or so there was another pair of bald eagles. Maybe not quite that many, but quite a lot. And the plan now, we were hoping to go to a little cafe called Pat's Place, but it's not open much in the winter season, so and it's not open now. So instead, we're probably going to have a cup of tea, pack up, and head south, saying goodbye to the adorable camp dog. Head south of the Olympic National Park. The route there is slightly longer, but it looks absolutely stunning. And hopefully then be back in town and ready and rested for my appointment, which is first thing tomorrow morning. How important is coffee?
Coffee is very important, and I'm very pleased that the board camper came with a coffee grinder.
All I know is that today I will arrive at the clinic, meet Ryan, be measured up, and then the day after tomorrow, the end of the day after tomorrow, I should have 2 Exosyms that are mine, made for me, to start training with. At the time of my accident, in the middle of all the trauma, the physical and the mental trauma, my family, the team and I, but I was very, under the influence of lots of drugs, had to make a call about whether we asked the surgeons whether we let them try and save my legs or whether we go for a double amputation. I think, the worst case that they have decided to not amputate, to try and save them. And so I've been really, really keen to make that work, and they're excited that I'm walking again. But there is a point where you have to be realistic. I can walk again, but with limitations. I'm missing ligaments in my feet, so I don't have force. My legs are quite different, they feel different, and they swell throughout the day. And I have days or mornings where I get up and after about 5 minutes, I don't really feel very much pain. As soon as I walk 200, 300 meters, I can feel my legs, and it takes over all of my thoughts eventually becomes really focused on avoiding pain. And I'm not myself. I'm not acting. I'm not working at my best ability. I'm not giving to the world all that I've got to give. And so the next option I was starting to look at was amputation. I really didn't want to go down that route. I know plenty of amputees who are doing really well, but they're really expensive. They are really time and resource intensive for a lot of different people. And then someone directed me to the fact that there is actually an exoskeleton option, not available in the UK, but available here, and that the only person I should get to do it was someone called Ryan. I hope that the Exosyms let me be fitter again, be a lot more active, walk, do things, normal, ordinary life things without pain and without constantly looking for where is the next place that I can rest. I guess be back to being myself, have the headspace that is currently ends up going on my legs and mobility. Can I have that back for conservation? But if I'm going to be really ambitious, I want to be off-road again, walking on rough tracks, walking on sand, able to go out and photograph and film for conservation again, meet people out where they are. That would be amazing. That would also give me my job back. And then my really big ambition would be to fly again. There you do need to take off and to land. You don't need to run long distances, but you do need to be able to run with force and have confidence and not feel pain. So yeah, if I could fly again, that would be amazing. And I'd love to do that for me. It gives me incredible insights into conservation again, but I'd love to do it for Dan as well.
Okay. Where are we at, Sacha?
We are at the Hanger Clinic in Gig Harbor. About to go and get my leg fitted. I'm assuming this was what he's going to put some sort of plaster on.
Put a cast on top of it, I think. And this will stop it from sticking to your leg.
Safer than just asking somebody if they've shaved their legs this morning.
Did you shave your legs this morning, Sacha?
I actually did, for exactly this reason. I just have some, oops, can't bend my legs. Slightly sexy looking version. Maybe I can keep this version as well for nights out.
Sensitivity in your feet will probably go way down.
Okay.
Just in general. They're not going to heal the joints. This is a prosthesis for that compromised joint structure. But this is going to heal from here up. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you can feel it. My heels aren't actually touching anything, but my toes can. It does feel surprisingly comfortable around the legs, sitting like this anyway. But sitting in a room in silence, wondering, well, surrounded by kit and wondering if this is going to work. Well, I'm wringing my fingers, aren't I? I don't normally wring my fingers. This is definitely more nerve-wracking, and I have no control over any of it, really. I can just ask questions to make sure that he's thought of things, but I mean, he's done hundreds of other people. So, yeah. I've been told trust in the process, but that's not an explorer type attitude, just to trust in things happening the ordinary way because you're trying to do something different. Anyway, I'm learning.
Your job is to use muscles in a very different way.
Okay.
To be patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. You're going to do great today. You got it. Squeeze. Squeeze. Oh, you're walking better. Squeeze. Slow. Whoa.
Okay.
Stop. So give me a second.
They definitely make you walk funny. Like at the moment, I'm finding it impossible to walk without having a dunk, 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 dunk tune in my head. But it is nice to walk without pain. Without them on, my default is to sit down and try and find a way of putting my feet up, because that's what I've been doing for so long. And yet, when I had them on, my default was to like, where can we go? Which is definitely how I'd rather be living the rest of my life. You shouldn't be happy about goodbyes, but it feels like the first day of the rest of my life.
Strong start then with Sacha and her new legs as she's up and about walking, and once again it wouldn't have been possible without you, so thank you so much. If you want to keep updated on how it progresses, then please do like and subscribe.